I'm sorry, I've got to do that again.
Go ahead.
I couldn't hear. Can we still hear him?
I hear you very well.
I'm sorry, can we count it down again? I lost it for a second.
No problem.
Yeah,
Okay.
False start.
3 times you're out.
5,
Okay.
4, 3, 2.
Arthur Ashe, thank you for joining us on Crook and Chase. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Nice to be here, Leslie.
Now, you have had such an amazing career in tennis, both on the court, I guess, and off the court as well. In 1968, of course, you won the U.S. Open, and you were ranked #1 in the world. And then in '75, you won Wimbledon, defeating the reigning king of tennis, Jimmy Connors. And 4 years after that, in '79, you suffered your heart attack. Now, how could that happen to such a young and virile athlete like yourself?
Well, basically family history. My mother died when she was very young. She was only 27. I was 6. And my father also had a heart problem. So both parents having had heart attacks, I inherited the problem.
Now, you've been very, very open about discussing this with the public. Why is that?
Well, I don't mind at all. I think it will certainly help. There are about 750,000 heart attack victims each year. Some of them don't make it, but we don't want people to become what's called cardiac cripples. And so we try to tell them to moderate their stress level, exercise, don't get overweight, and be like me. Make sure you take your medicines, both the prescription drugs, of course, and I take a bufferin as well. But in general, you've just got to tone your life down and realize that, hey, you're not the same person you were before your heart attack.
Now, you still are, of course, a very young man. You were even younger then. How did that change your life?
Well, it changes everything. It sort of rearranges your priorities. And with a 20-month-old daughter now that my wife and I have, that made it even more important. One important thing that I should mention here is that if the family gets involved in this recuperation, things are a lot smoother. My wife is on the same diet I am, for instance.
Now, what kind of diet is that? What do you have to do differently? You don't have to go detail specifically or anything.
Well, I don't eat any red meat. I don't eat dairy products made with whole milk. I don't eat cheese, no butter. Unfortunately, no ice cream. I eat tofuti.
Tofuti, all right.
Right. I cheat with pizza every once in a while. But basically, I've had a heart attack, 2 bypass operations. I don't want another one, so that's a lot of incentive for me to do the right thing.
Now, of course, you are extremely busy these days. Can you tell us a little bit about the program, the Junior Tennis League, that you were so instrumental in organizing?
Well, the USTA has now taken over what's called the National Junior Tennis League, which 2 friends and I started back in 1968. And it's now going extremely well, and we're trying to marry this public parks program with public schools tennis programs. And we think it's going to be one of the biggest sources of future talent the U.S. has seen in a long time.
Now, of course, with the Open coming up, we've got to hear it from the horse's mouth. Who are you going to predict? Any predictions?
For the women, Steffi Graf. For the men, I think Yvonne Lindell. But watch out for Andre Agassi.
Okay, we sure will. We'll see how these predictions hold up. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Leslie.